If you've recently noticed the View Site button missing on your Pinterest pins, or worse, realize that your traffic has dipped because of it, you're not imagining things and you're not the only one that's going through it. This is a real update and it's affecting a lot of creators and marketers right now. So I just want to say a huge thanks to my mentor, Kate All of Simple Pin Media. I'm in her mastermind group of Pinterest managers, and she is an official member of the Pinterest Educator Program. So she has the benefit of hearing directly from the Pinterest team about changes like these. So let's break down what she shared so that you can get your traffic back on track. So what's going on with the visit site button? In the past, you would see a pin in your feed. You would click on it to view where it opens up and you have the image on the left and you have all of the description and the title on the right. And then you would click again on that pin image and go straight to the link. Now, it's different, right? You will still click to view that pin close-up is what they call it, that image to the left and the pin, depending on if you're a desktop or cell phone, obviously. But the image itself is not clickable anymore. So instead, you have to click on a little visit site button that's under the image. And if it's not there, there's nothing for them to do to get to that link. So this small change does add some friction and could reduce click-through rates. So a lot of people are having the same amount of impressions or saves or things like that, but their outbound clicks have dropped. And this is typically, at least from my research and from what Kate is saying, this can reduce a little bit of that click-through rate, especially if the button is hidden under the visit site button located below the image. So for some people recently, that button was not even showing up. And with no way to get to the content, that could limit your reach as people can't even get to your site. Is Pinterest removing links? So when things like this happen, that's the first thing that people are starting to worry about or get nervous about. And that's always been a big fear that we hear, people thinking or assuming that this means that links on pins will be removed. The short answer is no. And here's what Malik Ducard, who is the Chief Content Officer at Pinterest, said in Kate's recent interview with him on her podcast. So rest assured, this is him talking, quote, "Rest assured, links are here to stay. For a very small percentage of pins that link out to an inconsistent Pinterest experience, the visit site buttons may be found in the drop down." So no, Pinterest is not removing links. So if that was a fear of yours, you can put that to rest. But they are hiding those buttons if they don't meet certain quality standards. So why Pinterest might be hiding your link? What Pinterest told Kate was, when a pin's, and this is in quotes, when a pin's linked landing page is deemed to have a lower quality, the visit site button is less prominent. The link is moved to the overflow menu and it's not removed entirely, but it's really made less accessible. So what counts as lower quality? So I get to dive into this right now in terms of their recommendations and the notes that Kate took. And I'm linking also below here to Kate's blog and also her podcast where Malik shows up. So how do we keep the visit site button front and center? Well, number one, you want to enable website scraping. So let the Pinterest bot access your site. You want Pinterest to crawl your content just like Google, so don't block it in your robots.txt file. Second, avoid broken or dead links. Right? Double check that all links work, or all redirects, if you're using a redirect, that those links work before you hit that publish button. A 404 page is not a good vibe, so test your links regularly. Match the pin to the landing page. The image on your pin should also be on the page that it links to. That hasn't always been the case, but that is one change that I am making for all of my Pinterest management clients and also for all of my students, is you want to make sure you're using the picture that is on the website. So if you have one picture and you're creating 5 pins, it's going to be all with the same image. If you have more than one image on your blog, then you can use a couple different images, but you don't want to use a random image because that could make it feel not as quality. So also use the same keywords on the pin that you use on that website or blog. Make sure that the page has valuable content. If you're talking about something and it has this, title and description that really doesn't match with your blog or the site that you're sending them to, that's a disconnect. That's going to be a disconnect for Pinterest. It's going to be a disconnect for people on Pinterest, the pinners, right? So make sure that your page has valuable content on it. And also keep it aligned. The click-through experience should feel seamless and intentional. 4, ensure fast site speed. Now, this is something we should be doing regarding like SEO anyway on our website, but you want to aim for a load time of that page, whether it's a blog or your home site or wherever you're sending them to, that you want to aim for a load time under 4 seconds. That is a long time. So if your website is not loading within 4 seconds, it is going to be considered potentially not a valuable site. And also 4 seconds may not sound like much, but on mobile, it feels like forever. 5, maintain a safe domain. Follow Pinterest's merchant guidelines. You can find them front and center on Pinterest. And make sure that your site isn't flagged for spammy behavior or poor site design, UX, right? Clear contact info, no sketchy ads, no clickbaits, just good vibes. So what if you're following all the rules and it still happens? Kate asked Pinterest that exact question, and they said if your pins meet best practices and the visit site button is still buried, their system will automatically recheck and restore it after updates are made. So there's no really official appeal process at this time. They could change that in the future, but you can also submit a support ticket if you wanted to raise the concern. So the big picture, Pinterest is all about helping users find inspiring ideas and helpful content. You need to make sure that your content is helpful if you're going to be sharing it on Pinterest. But I will also point out with regards to Google and SEO, they're looking for the exact same thing, helpful content. So these updates aren't about punishing creators. They're about ensuring that pinners land on trustworthy, high-quality pages. And while the change is annoying, especially if it's hurting your traffic, it's also a really good reminder to double-check your site's experience. For instance, what would happen in the past is a pin wouldn't do very well because people would go to that website and then bounce right back to Pinterest. Pinterest knows this, right? And then the algorithm may limit your reach because they're seeing a lot of people pop back immediately, meaning or giving the impression that it's not valuable. So they're just taking this to another level because their whole bottom line is to make Pinterest valuable for the people that are searching for content on there. And it's also a good reminder that fast loading, user-friendly pages with very clear value is what they're going to be seeing. That's just good marketing. It's good for Google, it's good for Pinterest, it's just good in marketing your business, no matter what platform you're on. If you've been wondering why your pins aren't driving traffic like they used to, this could be the reason. Take a few minutes to review your recent pins and ensure that your links, images, and landing pages are all aligned. And if you're still stuck, I work with service-based business owners to simplify their Pinterest strategy and create a lead generating system that actually works while you're offline. So let's chat. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week.